Welcome. Have you ever wondered how you can make an exam review more interesting or get an accurate breakdown of where your class is at with course material? But look no further than Kahoot. Kahoot is an informal assessment strategy that uses quiz-based technology to test students on instructor-generated questions. Both the students and the instructor are given immediate feedback on the results of these questions. So, how does it work? Let's take a look. The instructor first builds a bank of questions and answers that they would like to ask the class. They can be multiple choice, labeling, and ordering style questions. They load the Kahoot website and open their test. Students log in from the website or the app, and when everyone is logged on, the instructor hits start. Students choose the answer that they think is correct, and once the time limit is up, the correct answer is displayed. The breakdown of which answers were chosen is also displayed, and the instructor can take this time to elaborate on the choices and the correct answer, and when they are ready, they choose to move on to the next question. The end of the Kahoot shows a podium, adding a competitive element to the review. So, where and when would you want to use a Kahoot in your course? Pearson.com establishes that the 5 informal assessment strategies for meaningful, formative insights are ask questions, check for understanding, confidence check-in, scan data, and be deliberate. Kahoot uses these strategies and is typically most effective when used near the end of a section of a course or as an exam review. It gives a pulse check on where students may be needing to give more attention to in their own studies and lets the instructor know which areas of the material they may need to revisit or reinforce. Kahoots are great, but what are some of the limitations? Form Plus lists the pace of which informal assessments run as one of their biggest limitations. The pace can often leave students behind, decreasing engagement. The main limitation of this strategy for Kahoot is the amount of questions and material which can be efficiently delivered to the class. It's difficult to cover all the material in a 25 to 30 question review, with each question ranging from 20 seconds to a minute in length. We are also up against the inconsistencies which come from multiple choice, labeling, and ordering questions. Although some students may not know the correct answer, they may be able to guess correctly, skewing the quiz results. Why are so many professors using Kahoot? HelpfulProfessor.com states that whole group feedback is one of the best informal assessment strategies. Kahoot is based on whole group feedback, with the biggest advantage of this strategy being the preparation and confidence it can provide students with. It reinforces the material they have been focusing on and can direct them to areas which require attention. Additionally, for students whose first language is not English, it is also an opportunity to practice reading through questions of a similar nature to the ones they will find on their exams. Kahoot engages the entire class. There is time for everyone to respond anonymously, giving students a chance to answer at their own pace. It also incorporates a competitive element to the game, encouraging students who may find the questions a bit less challenging a chance to compete based on how fast they answer the questions and how many in a row they have gotten right. Now that you're an instructor using Kahoot, what are some best practices to keep in mind when using this platform as an informal assessment? Some of the best practices I've included in my own delivery of Kahoots is always pausing between questions to have a short discussion with the class based on the material in the original question. When many students get a question wrong, it is usually a good indication that additional instructor review is required before their exam, and that the course itself should be adjusted the next time through to allow for more coverage of that topic. This observation has also been made by Rowan University, which includes this topic in its list of best practices when administering a Kahoot. Lastly, setting the limit on total questions in your Kahoot to range from 25 to 30 is critical. Also setting time limits for each of the questions to range from 20 to 30 seconds for multiple choice questions and 60 seconds for math or calculation-based questions. This question total and time restriction ensures that students remain engaged throughout the exam while giving them just enough time to provide an educated, well thought out response. As instructors, it is often difficult to receive feedback from all students and to provide feedback to students in an efficient manner. How does Kahoot help with this? In Kahoot, feedback is immediate. The learner can see how they scored on each question, what the correct answer was, and will receive feedback from the instructor between each question based on the needs of the class. In my own Kahoots, I also include a short reflection at the end, asking students what they would like to see on the next Kahoot and whether the current one was challenging enough. The last part of the feedback comes from students after their exam. Whether they felt the Kahoot was a good use of their time or whether they felt another strategy would have been more effective. I hope you found this video informative and that you feel ready to bring Kahoot into your classroom as an informal assessment strategy.